This is a supinated right arm. Supinated means that the thumb is out away from the body. And the hinge joint of the ulna goes only like this, whereas that pivot joint of the radius allows it to carry the thumb over into a prone position. Now let's look at how the radius articulates with the carpal mass. This is an ellipsoid joint, which means it allows it to go into palmar flexion and dorsiflexion. It also allows it to go into ulnar flexion and radial flexion, but it doesn't allow any spinning. You can't spin the carpal mass on the end of the radius. The spinning all happens up here at that pivot joint of the radius. So, ellipsoid joint, saddle joint for the base of the thumb, ellipsoid joints for the fingers, which can do the same thing. They can move a little bit left and right and a great deal down as well as up if this were flexible enough to do it. All of the other interphalangeal joints, including this first metacarpal phalangeal joint of the thumb, are hinge joints, so they can only bend on one axis.
Okay, now I will do this supinated arm. Get it in there lightly. It is in space, so our 3 axes will help. And we know that that's a right angle in the real world, but we don't see it that way in this position because it's in perspective. Here's what I mean. This box would be a right angle. There we go. Right angle. When we spin it back a bit, that angle becomes more open. That's called obtuse. Now we place that humerus, cross contours, make it clear. Place that medial epicondyle because that's the inside or medial side of the arm. Place that ulna. Find that elbow back there. If you can't draw a straight line because you're nervous or ill or uncoordinated, just make it straight with the edge of a piece of paper. Some cross contours as usual. Get that radius in there. Come on now. And cross contours tell all truth that is necessary to be told. You don't need to put 12 cross contours on there like some of you have. Put cross contours in when you would forget what the shape of it would be at that point. Now we need an egg in there for the carpal mass. Get the block of the body of the hand in there as a block of the body of the hand. We'll put the trapezium bone. That's the bone from which the thumb emerges. And here is a little description to show that it's a saddle joint with that convex concave and that concave convex relationship. And now a thumb metacarpal. And each one of those cylinders and the receiving end for it has to be defined with an ellipse. So we just place a can in there and then surround it with a little hook. That's a hinge. All the phalanges are hinges. So a cylinder connection will do fine. It's the same as that elbow joint that we can't see in this view because it's over there behind the humerus.
But it's on a different axis, going up and down rather than across.
And the metacarpal phalangeal joints are all ellipsoid joints with an egg on the proximal side and the concave receiver on the phalanx side. And then the remaining phalanges are all, of course, hinge joints. And I'm just going to finish this thing up by hook or by crook so that I've got the positions in there and I can clean them up later. Now, we made it through that. It could have been more graceful. My concern is that my drawing style, which has been born out of illustration where I do all of the preliminaries previous to the finished work and nobody sees me do the preliminaries, is a bad influence on you if you want to have good line quality in your initial drawings, which we will take up in the next demo, which I will narrate with Stan. This is better. But of course, I cleaned it up for the show.